Well, let us see what is the next best thing that Blender has to offer us. With that being said, and then let me go to File, go to New, and go to Sculpting so that we can show you the next best awesome thing. What I am going to do is I am going to show the most important thing called Dyntopo, and there is a tick over here. What it actually does is if I click and drag over here so that we could see the names of the brushes, the next brush I am going to take is snake hook, and if I click and drag over here, there is a little bit of protruding happening here. But if I come over here and click on the wireframe, you can see the wireframe is getting stretched, and it will get stretched to a certain point, and after that it's going to show its original colors, so it's not going to be very nicely. But with the help of Dyntopo, if I click and drag over here, we can increase the resolution of the mesh dynamically. So what and how it is done? It is done by changing this value over here. So this is 12 pixels. If I reduce this to 2 pixels, and if I click and drag over here, I can create a new shape which is mostly useful for creating horns or stylized mustache, that type of things. And if I click and drag over here, I can dynamically create new parts and change the meshes accordingly with the help of Dyntopo. And the detail size is going to define how much dense the mesh is going to be, which we are going to draw. This is a little bit inversely proportional to some of the options here, which we will be seeing in a moment. So the detail size is going to define how the resolution of the mesh will be visible. And the next option is subdivide collapse. Let me go to subdivide edges, and here if I come and click over here, it is going to subdivide the edges and create more geometry and more detail. So if I come over here and collapse edges, and if I click and drag over here, it is going to collapse the edges. It is not going to create extra geometry. It is going to change as it is. It's not going to affect the mesh over here. And the next thing is subdivide collapse, which is the mix of subdivide as well as collapse. And subdivide collapse does the two things of subdividing the thing and not increasing the resolution very drastically. So this is how this option works. The next parameter is detailing, relative detail. Relative detail depends on how we are keeping the mesh according to our screen. Means if I am very far away from here, and if I click and drag over here, the detail is like this. If I go a little bit zoomed in and click and drag over here, the detail is going to increase. And if I go even more closer and click and drag over here, the detail is going to increase more and more, related to the viewer, to the viewing distance from our mesh. But the next option is constant detail. What it actually does is, if I click and drag over here, it is going to give a constant detail. If I zoom in over here, let me reduce the value over here. The resolution over here is very different from the relative fill. Relative fill is going to show you on a pixel level, whereas constant detail is going to show you a simple number. And also you can change the number over here, and it's completely opposite to the relative detail number. Relative detail with relative detail number, the lower the number, the more the detail. The lower the number, the more the detail. And with constant detail, the bigger the number, the more the detail. If I reduce it and click and drag, the reduce, if I have a smaller number, the lower the resolution of the mesh. If I increase over here to 50 and click and drag over here, you can see the resolution is increased over here. So That's how the constant detail and relative details are related to each other. When you take constant detail option, there is also a sample detail size available over here. What you can do is you can click over this and click over any part of the mesh. Now here 50, now here the value is 50. If I click over here, you can see the value of that resolution is 27.25. If I click over here and click in this area, now the resolution is 2.83, and if I click here and click here, now the resolution it's going to show is 56.5, the resolution over that part of the area. And one more thing, what you can do is for example, let me click and drag over here so that I could create something over here, and with low resolution, something like 20, and click and drag over here. You can see this protruding part has less resolution. So to increase the resolution, there is the next option along with constant detail flood fill. What it actually does is, if I click now detailed flood fill, it is going to apply a resolution of 20 over the entire mesh. So before doing that, let me increase the resolution to 50 and click on detail flood fill, and it is going to fill the object with a resolution of 50 value. And this detail flood fill comes with constant detail as well as manual detail. And if I go to brush detail, we can increase or reduce the resolution of the mesh based on the percentage. If I increase the percentage, and if I click over here and drag, the resolution will be reduced. And if I come over here and click and bring it down and click and drag over here, the resolution will be increased, and it is based on the percentage. And at the end, what I can show you is, let me switch off this wireframe, and now if you see over here, we are getting this faceted look. To remove this faceted look, or how I can show you best here it is visible clearly. So here the faceted look is visible. So if I come over here and click on smooth shading, it's going to take its time and it is going to smoothly shade it out, but the resolution is so low that there are artifacts being visible over here. So what I am going to do is, I am going to reduce the detail a little bit lower, and click and paint over here and use the draw brush. And now with the help of this last parameter, smooth shading, you can activate or deactivate the smooth shading of the object. So that's how Dyntopo is utilized. I hope you are liking this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, or leave a wonderful comment. If you want to support me, you can do that by watching the ads which are following on this video entirely without skipping. And if you want to support me personally, you can do that by Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm. The phone number is 8600647757. What you need to do is go to the YouTube and search for Blender Veda, regardless of any language, it doesn't matter. Then you can go to the description, there I have provided a phone number and also a Patreon page. You click on this link, it will take you to a page where you can support me by providing me $1 per month or $3 per month or $9 per month, or if you feel that I am very valuable, you can also provide me with $20 per month. So that's it for this, guys. Until then, try to see it, learn it, understand it. I will see you in the next video.
Veda.